I I don't know if Marie's going to join us or not. She didn't say yes or no, so we'll just start. How are you guys doing? What's up? It's the last day of your class. Aren't you excited? I am.
I am.
Yeah.
Here's
I
Marie.
am. Here's Marie coming.
Yay, there's Marie. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. We've been together for a very long time now.
Yes, we have. I know. I think you guys are one of the best classes Vince and I have taught. I think we've, over the last 4 or 5 years, we've taught maybe 6 or 7 different groups. You guys have been really awesome. So thank you.
You're our best Chi running instructors ever.
Marie, they're the only ones, but
The only ones.
Top 2, huh?
Yeah,
that was funny.
I knew that was coming. Oh my gosh. So how's your running going? Ginger, I haven't looked at your video, I have to confess. Anybody else send me videos? Send us videos. I haven't looked at anybody's videos. You guys owe us one more video, please. Make us feel like you really are Chi runners at the end of the class.
Mhm. And Ginger's going to shorten her stride on the next set before she meets with her master instructor.
Ah,
Shorter stride. Thank you for that tip.
Yes,
good.
yes, I may not write an email, but I look at them.
Okay, good.
Lengthen your column, like you said, and then shorten that step, your forward stride. Get it more and more to land under you, going out behind you, as opposed to trying to get out in front. The
Okay.
mentality of the old power runner where your stride length's out in front goes away.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Ankles up, knees down, fall forward. You should be able to, you should, as soon as you focus on those 3 things, and lengthen from the crown of your head, your speed should just go up without even thinking about it. Yay.
Yeah, that sounds magical.
It is.
I did a 10K this weekend, but I didn't run the whole way. So it was good.
Yay,
Good
though.
job.
Yay.
Excellent.
Yay. All right. And Jim is tapering. Are you having fun tapering, Jim? Or are you going crazy?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like tapers of old. I mean, when I used to run 7 days a week and tapering, now I'm running 3 days a week and cross training my elliptical. Tapering is not as challenging as it was. And I'm obviously slower than I used to be, so that helps with a taper. But yeah, it's going well. Did 14 on Saturday, pretty easy. Had the midsection was at marathon pace, so that felt good. And so yeah, just taking it easy from here on out.
Cool.
Excellent. We wish you the best of luck.
Yeah,
thanks.
really.
Yeah,
So
good
week-
luck.
Week from Sunday.
Yeah, tapering isn't a big deal anymore. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can finally not do as many miles this week.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
Jim,
you.
please post it on Mighty Networks how you did.
Sure, I will.
Yes,
I don't know
please.
if San Diego Rock and Roll can follow it, but it's so I'll
Yeah,
definitely
post
post it.
post the name of the race and we can see if we can find you.
Okay.
And your number.
San Diego rock and roll.
I'll do it.
Cool.
And yeah, you can go on that. There's also a place on Mighty Networks. If you search for it, you can find the spreadsheet that, what race you're going to be on. And Lisa will post that in Mighty Networks and wish you luck, and everybody can say, yay. And then we can follow
Great.
you.
Good. Yeah, thanks for your support. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I'll be
Good
interested
being
to
how
see
you-
what focuses you think about, Jim, during your race. Anyway.
I have lots of time to think about all of them. So
Right.
Try a different one every mile.
yeah, just rotate.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much, so that's the way to do it. Wait till you do the 100-miler. Talk about rotating, you having plenty of time.
I've done a couple hundreds, and so I have rotated those. So
Yeah.
Which
You'll be,
hundreds have you done, Jim? I didn't know you did hundreds. Back in
It's
the
been a
day?
while. Back in the day,
Back-
Western states,
I didn't realize you've done states. What year?
05 and 06.
No
It's been a while.
kidding.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That's
Did you get
impressive.
did you get a under 24-hour buckle or?
Did not. No, got the bronze buckle.
Oh, nice job.
So
All right. That's a huge deal around this area. We have in our region in Reno, we have
sure.
multiple people that do Western States. I mean, John Trent has been on the board of directors for many
Sure.
years. And yeah, we have aid stations up there. Yeah, it's a big deal here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
that about you. That's awesome.
yeah, fond memories.
Yeah, that's really cool. Man, you did it as an old guy too. You were in your 50s,
Yeah,
2000.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That is really impressive. Wow. Anyway, well, Vince is impressive too because he's done hundreds in his late 50s too. He's yet to do one at 60, right, Vince?
Let me see here, how much? No, I think I did. Did I do one at 60? Or was that the COVID year?
That was the COVID year when you got really sick.
Yeah, I haven't done one in my 60s yet. Maybe another year. Maybe I'll wait for
Yeah.
the age group. If I hang on a couple more years, I'm in a new age group. Well, I think once you get up there, they're all the same age group.
Old.
65, 65 plus, that's
Sure.
everybody.
Yeah, my days of ultras are over, I'm afraid. I just don't have the motivation. But anyway. All right, who else? Cheryl, how's it going?
It's going good. Let's see. So I did my first run today that I tried to do a little interval of a little bit faster. And took it pretty slow, short, like 1 to 2 minutes, and then would do the same amount of time back at easier pace. And so that went well. I'm out of shape. It's
Aw.
been so long. I've lost so much, but that's okay. It's a
Yeah.
little hard to have that be in your face, but you know, it is what it is. And my back is clearly the limiting factor. So
Gotcha.
we'll have to, but PT is continuing to help. So that's, you know, progress is always better. So that's good. And then let's see, Monday night I did the New England instructors call and really enjoyed that. All of the instructors were really so supportive of each other, and it was neat to see what everybody else is doing, and so that was cool. And
Nice.
at my last trail run of the series on Saturday, we were talking about, I wasn't supposed to be there because I was supposed to be at Jean's workshop and it got canceled. So they were asking why I was there and that kind of stuff. So I talked about that. And so I've been invited to do a intro for her half marathon training series that's coming up in
Yay.
June or July. Yeah. So, and they were one of my targets. It's our local running shop. And so I knew that they would be open to it. So it was just sort of good timing, but it was exciting.
That's great.
Good. Good
Yeah.
on you. Hey. Anybody else? Praveen, I see your mugshot there. Are you what are you
Hey,
doing?
Sorry, my laptop died, so I just dialed in with my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm restarting my laptop coming up. But yeah, I just didn't want to. I was already late for the call, so I just decided to just dial in. Running, yeah, I think I did get a chance to run this week a couple of times. So one thing, I'm really comfortable compared to my previous runs. If I'm in first and second gear, as soon as I switch gears, it's becoming kind of difficult for me. So I'm falling back wherever I'm like between first and second gear. That's the easier mode for me. I just I will continue to do that until I'm completely comfortable on that, and then move on to the next gear. I'm not trying out to run fast or keeping up on time now.
That's good. That's good. I mean, that may be where you are for a little bit. That's fine. Yeah.
And also, the other thing counts, right? So I have to be regular on the runs, at least 3 to 4. That's my target now. So for the week, when I do 2 runs, the next week it'll be very difficult for me to catch up to the previous pace and which I'm running. So I'm not worried about the pace for now.
That's a good way to approach it. Yeah, slow is good. It's time on your feet. Time on your feet. That's what's important. And that'll get you fit. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Since I stopped skiing and I started running again, I've just been gradually moving up my mileage without any intention or focus on speed. And so, and now after 4 weeks, because I'm in good shape because of skiing and I'm not hurt, I've worked myself up to 40 miles in this past week, and but they're very slow. They're very slow. But I can feel my strength returning, so I know that, and speed is happening. I can see that in my pace on my Garmin and stuff. But I'm not attached to speed. I just want to be out there and be able to be in the mountains, on the trails, for long periods of time where I'm comfortable. And that's my goal. So speed is not the thing, and not falling. I crashed a couple days ago. I got that big
Oh, nice.
owie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm such a
Cheryl, how
doofus.
many days a week do you run?
Right now, because I'm running so slow, like 6 or 7. So, and yeah, and that might drop, but I'm really, once I get over 40 miles a week and I start kayaking, paddling, I'll probably throw a day off in there and just do 6 days. But if I get really up there, but I won't. If I get over 50 miles a week, I'll do 1 or 2 days a week off completely. But I won't get up there. I'm not training for an ultra. I'm too old. I just don't want to crash anymore. Well, anyway, you guys, I got the privilege of grading your test this time around, and I thought maybe you might want to go through a couple things in the test. Would that be helpful for you before your final?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. Because it seemed like there was a couple things that people missed. And I'm going to start with actually the end of the exam. Because that was a good one. Did anybody want to make any other comments before I start? I didn't. I just segued into the test.
Can you talk about the exam at all? Like, how long is it, and
Oh, the final exam?
the final?
I believe it's still 2 hours, right, Vince?
That's 2 hours. Give me 1 second.
And isn't it?
I just closed that test out so I can talk about the quiz. Let me just go back and reopen the exam up.
I think it's got more questions, if I recall correctly. I
It
don't
has
remember.
opportunity to score 120 points. It's 2 hours. It has, let's see, what does it have? $55 questions, combination of multiple choice, fill in the blank. They're all there. Let me see here. True, false. There's some give me's in there and then some good stuff. So as long as you guys did well or studied up with your 1, 2, and 3 quizzes, this will be a piece of cake.
But watch your time, you guys, because it is 55 questions, so that's more than twice the usual. So
Mhm.
don't get through quickly.
Thing too
And
is remember, do not cut and paste. Do not write me a book or Cheryl a book. Cheryl was very gracious to correct the number 3. But let me tell you, regardless of whether Cheryl corrects the exam or I correct the exam, we do not want to be reading something that was straight out of the manual. And we don't want to read a book. We just want, if the question says, let me see here. G running teaches us to cooperate with 2 forces. What are the 2 forces? Quick, anybody, give me 2 forces.
What are the 2 forces that act against every runner and walker?
Downward force of gravity and the force of the oncoming road.
Perfect.
That is your answer. No more. Do not tell me what the force of the oncoming road is, how to test for it, what it can or cannot do to your body. Just simply put, that's it. Don't waste any more time on that question and move on.
And it's open to starting tomorrow and got a week, correct?
I already opened it. Didn't you guys get a little thing come through? I didn't give you the fancy, hi, everybody, welcome to the final exam. I wish you the best of luck. I just sent you a link. I figured I could do that verbally tonight. So make sure you've got things like that that are going on. Here's, make sure too that when we ask you questions, it's, if it says chronological order, that you do answer the question chronologically. And not, well, I know it's this, 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 and this, but wait, what's the order? If you notice, the entire course is set up chronologically. Every time we go to teach, we start with what? Aligning our bodies, right? We make sure our lower half of our body, our feet, pointed in a forward direction, hip width apart. We make sure our upper body, chest, shoulders, head, and neck are pointed in a forward direction. We lengthen through the crown of our head, which will engage our lower abdominals, connecting the upper and lower bodies. Done. So basically, the short answer is align your feet and legs. Then we go and we lift through the crown of our heads. We engage our core. What's that last thing that we do?
What's the 4th step?
There's something
Oh.
else in, what do we do next? We've
Check.
just done all this, what? Oh, check, done. We check. You know, check your column, make sure it's right, create a sense of balance. That's always my favorite because people don't have to remember that tripod. This is not part of this question. Remember, we're not creating a book, but this is knowledge for you guys that I'm talking about extra stuff. I want you to know that, but remember when you create this column, you're standing on your tripod. Remember those 3 spots behind the big toe, behind the little toe, and your heel? Those 3 spots is where your weight's being balanced on each foot, left foot, right foot, and you're balanced left to right, front to back. So you want to make sure that you feel that sense of balance. That column check is creating balance.
Okay, let's go through the last quiz. There's a couple, I think this will help us. And just interrupt me, you guys, if you want to ask questions or discuss or whatever. So number 6, during the begin to run lesson, in addition to repeating the 4 steps to Chi running, list 3 focuses that can help to enhance in the 4 steps. So the key to focus in on here is the word focus. Okay, we're not asking you to repeat the 4 steps to start Chi running or start to the begin run lesson. We're asking you, what focuses are you telling your students when they start running? So those are those in quote senses, pretend you're not running. You're just moving your dantian ahead of your feet and lifting your ankles to keep up with your dantian. Feel your feet at the bottom of your column and feel that one-legged posture stance every time you land in your support stance. Feel your dantian falling ahead of where you feel your feet hitting. Feel the crown of your head falling slightly ahead of your dantian. And it doesn't matter how small your wheel is, as long as it's a wheel. So those are the things that you want to tell your students when they just start running. Those are the specific focuses. Don't add anything to it. Don't try and explain it. This is what I say, and this isn't in the lesson, you guys, but what I say to my students is, I want you to just listen to me like I'm your mind and I'm telling you what to do. And then you speak those words. And there's a part in a significant part of presenting this lesson is being very simple and quiet, letting your students discover that falling forward from your center is what is their gas pedal. It's what allows them to move forward. It is the first time that they're going to experience cooperating with gravity. So you want to be very clear about what you're instructing them to do after you set them up, running in place, bringing their arms up to 90, focusing their mind on their center. Then you want to have them fall from their center. And those are the things you want to talk to them while they're doing this for the very first time. So remember when we talked about this lesson the first time, you guys, we talked about how important it is to spend a lot of time on this lesson. You really want people to get this feeling of falling forward. And these are the focuses that you want to speak when you're getting them to have that feeling. Okay, so some of you didn't quite understand what we meant by focusing. That's it. These are all feel things. In every sentence, pretend you're not running. Feel your feet, feel your dantian, feel the crown of your head, feel that wheel. These are all feeling things. They're focuses, what your mind is feeling, so that when they go back to practice again, they can reproduce that feeling. That's a focus. Okay, that's what a focus means, is my mind focusing on a body part to produce a feeling that I know is correct. Okay, and in the beginning run, it's all about feeling what gravity does to pull you forward. It makes you go fast or slow. It's your gas pedal. Okay. So number 7, any questions about that, you guys, or comments? You good? Okay. The number 7 was, why might a runner have be experiencing tight calves while running, and what would you tell them to do? And so some of you said relax, which is correct. But again, you want to be specific. If they're falling forward and they've got too tight calves, and this segues into the next question, which is, what is your window of balance? Then they're probably falling forward too much, right? And yes, you want them to relax their lower legs, but if they feel tension, they're probably falling forward too much. So they need to move their dantian back and forth into a place where their legs are relaxed when they land on that one-legged posture stance. And that moves into number 8, which is defining what your window of balance is. Again, it's that place where you're falling forward just enough so that you're not tense in your legs and you're not upright and pushing off with your feet. And that's a question of efficiency. Okay, this is the most efficient place. That angle of fall is the most efficient place for the speed that you're going. Okay, if you're going really slow and you're falling forward 10 degrees, you're going to be holding yourself up with your calves. They're going to be tense, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so And if you want to go fast and you're not falling forward enough, you're going to end up pushing off. So in both those instances, you're not efficient. So being in that window of balance where you're relaxed, you're falling forward just enough for the speed that you're going. That's what you're going after. And that's what takes practice. So when you have your students do a begin run lesson, you're having them move back and forth with their dantian so they can feel that window of balance. They can feel that if they're going this speed, they need to fall this far, right? Okay, let's see what else we got here. That was number 8 and 9. So what are the most important parts of your body to keep relaxed when you're searching for that window of balance? Anybody, what was the correct answer there?
The lower legs and the ankles.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. And I saw, you know, the question is the most important parts. And I saw answers like relax arms and legs. Well, yes, that's true. But what are the most important parts? Are the legs and ankles. Good. What is the main muscle group that holds your column straight as you fall? Again, look at the words, muscle group. It's not the psoas muscle, it's the lower abs, right? So it's those lower abs, that muscle group. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, number 13 was define the point T12L1 and explain its importance in Qi running. And most of you, I think all of you define T12L1 very well. And Jim, I know you haven't done your test yet, so you better be paying attention, buddy, because you're going to get 100%.
Yeah, he's right. Everything.
He's writing them down.
I'm on TikTok right now. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Ah! Oh, get off that. Delete that app. That's a terrible thing. Okay.
Just kidding.
So I know. I figured you were. So every
photography right now. He's like, I see his hand down there. His hand's moving like a mile a minute, taking notes.
well, there you go. So everybody knows what that point T12 and L1 is and how it rotates the spine and everything else. But what I was looking for here is why is it important? And I'm not sure anybody got that one. I mean, so what if you can rotate your spine? What's important about rotating your spine right there? Well, it allows your leg to go rearward instead of forward, right? So it gives your body the opportunity to cooperate with the force of the road as it comes at you. Your foot lands and the road pulls your hip rearward in rotation. That's why it's important. Okay, so make sure you read the questions, you guys, really carefully.
Gerald,
Let's see. Yeah.
just on that particular question,
Yeah.
similar to all the questions, if you're not sure what the answer actually is, think back to the one major line that we use. What is Qi running? Qi running is all about injury prevention and energy efficiency derived through your alignment surrounded by relaxation. So, what's the importance? Well, let me see. For injury prevention, the importance of pelvic rotation is that it acts as a shock absorber. It allows that force of the road to be transferred out behind you and not hit with a heel strike straight up your body. Then when we talk about energy efficiency, it's increasing your stride length. So you notice how all the answers to these questions, everything we've done for the past 5 months, all boils down to the same two things. injury prevention, and energy efficiency. So when you go to answer your questions, it's really simple. What's the question all about? Oh, this one's about energy efficiency. What's this question about? Oh, this one's about injury prevention. Jim's going to go out next week and run a great marathon. And during his 26 miles of form focuses, it's going to boil down to one of two things. Am I aligning or am I relaxing? That's really what it boils down to. Geez, I don't know. I feel like I'm tensing up. Well, I better relax some more. Wait a minute. I feel like my pace is too slow. Well, Jim's got a goal. He wants to qualify for Boston Marathon. So I'm falling off my pace for my goal. Okay, well, what do I need to do? I need to relax around my alignment. Done. That's what it boils down to. Now, what each individual step is going to be, that'll be something that Jim can only answer by himself. But it boils down to the simple thing, am I aligning or am I relaxing?
Yay. That is right. Start there and then go forward. Just two more questions, you guys. Number 14, what is the relationship between stride length and gears? Most of you guys got this one right, but really, what we're looking for here is, if you change gears, what happens is stride length. And that's really what we're looking for. We say the stride length is to running as gears are to a car or a bicycle. Well, yeah, that's okay. But really what I'm looking for is if you're running slow, you have a short stride. If you're running fast, your stride lengthens. That's really it. And gears are just, first gear is slow, second gear is a little faster, third gear is really a little bit faster, and fourth gear is, well, we don't teach that. It's a sprint. So really that's all we're looking for. What's that relationship between stride length and gears? Because that's important. Remember, that's your primary distinction between chi walking and chi running. If you want to go faster in chi running, your stride lengthens. If you want to go faster in chi walking, your cadence increases. Okay. And then there's some other things too, of course. And then the last thing, the last one is kind of trivial, but I don't know. A lot of people got this one wrong. The farther ahead of your feet you shift your dantian, the more you need to relax your arms and legs. And I think there was hips and legs in there, ankles and legs. But again, that one is the whole picture. When you're falling forward and you want to go faster, you relax more. If anybody ever asks you, how do I go faster? You just tell them to relax more. That's the big answer. Okay, so that's it. You guys did well, though. That was a good quiz. You guys did a good job. I think some of you did cut and paste because I saw some exactly similar answers.
No, you can't paste. We can't paste it. So the form where we fill in the answer, it wouldn't allow us to paste. So we have to type it in.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that.
So that would have been easier for.
It would have been easier, but okay. All right. Well, here's something. Do you guys have any other questions about that quiz or about the exam that's coming up?
On the exam, do we have questions with different marks? Because I felt only after reading my answers, later on when the marks was assigned, then I saw that I missed some of the questions, like the one that we reviewed now, right? I stopped at the first sentence. If I would have noticed that that's for 2 or 3 marks, I would have gone for 2 or 3 sentences, some extra information over there. So I just assumed some of them are 1 mark question. I gave the main answer for that. So even in the final, does it vary? The marks varies for questions?
If you're referring to the scoring.
Yeah.
The scoring varies, yes. The
Okay.
value of questions ranges, like some of them are
1 point.
yeah, some of them are only worth 1 point and others
Some
are worth
8. I think there was one question on this last quiz that was worth 8 points. I think it was the second or third one. I can't remember. But there was an 8-point question. Oh, it was the list all the details of beginning running. And the two that everybody missed was soften your knees in the first part and start your metronome.
Mm. Yeah.
But you guys, you know, you listed them all. You should have. I mean, they're right there in the book. I mean, it's pretty easy to find them. So, cool. All right. So with that, we'll go over briefly. We've talked about it quite a bit. So, you know, I mean, we've talked about it off and on, preparing for meeting with your master instructor. So I'm not sure that there's a whole lot to continue to talk about, but did everybody read that hugely long paragraph with about 400 words in it on on the network about prepping, what that means? It's a long paragraph full of lots of questions that the master instructor is going to be asking themselves about you as they work with you. So
Where is that?
it's
What
in
are you looking at?
it's table of contents. Go down to the not to the very bottom, but the master instructor one-on-one prep. So you see it says
Oh,
master
okay.
instructor one-on-one prep, and click on that.
Oh, man. But you said it was a big paragraph.
It is a big paragraph. It's not even bullet pointed, so you have to read it. Makes it really hard to see. No, I'm just kidding. So, so these are the things that you should review before you work with your master instructor. These are the things that we're asking the masters to look at with you. And it really comes down to, you know, can you create a relationship, a rapport with your students? And do you present well? You know, are you just, you know, are you delivering the lessons with passion, with understanding, authenticity? Are you able to communicate the lessons well? Your public speaking skills are good. You make eye contact with your students. You speak so people can understand you. You are watching your students, looking for questions that they may have. You know, do you have confidence in your ability to deliver the lessons? And do you deliver the lessons well? Do you know what you're talking about?
The other end of the spectrum of all of this, while you're presenting and teaching and with that master instructor, make sure that you are an example of a chi running or chi walking instructor. So that what I mean by that is, don't be presenting posture and your posture's not aligned. Don't be presenting anything without having proper alignment. If you're seated with your shoulder over your hips and you're lengthening through the crown of your head so that you have good posture. You need to be that example. There's one instructor that taught with me, came to assist after he got certified. And I just happened to have a friend there taking pictures for promotion that I was doing. And I said, you know, if anybody wanted these pictures, he took a look at the picture. He goes, "That's me." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Here you are, you're teaching a posture lesson and I'm over here in the background slouching like a fool." You know, so, and he was supposed to be the assistant instructor. So he was mortified at the way he looked while teaching this class. So please remember that you're on. As soon as you say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is," you know, and then you introduce yourself to the candidate that comes to your class, the student, boom, you better make sure that you're 110% ready to go. And that's in your physical body.
That was the first thing that I noticed when I walked in the room, was how straight and perfect posture Mary Lindahl was. She was amazing. I looked at her and I went, oh my gosh, look at how straight she is. So yeah, that's really important. And for guys, that means not doing the guy stand, right? The guy stand.
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
This is the guy stand. Right?
Jim and Praveen, I'm just gonna bite my tongue
Ah!
and we're gonna move on. So please,
I miss that joke.
yeah. The other thing too is that I want to make sure, has everybody contacted a master instructor?
Not yet.
Okay, no problem. You've got time. You've have really about 6 months to get this handled now. The sooner you do this, the better off you're going to be. The longer you put it off, the more difficult it becomes. And then you become one of those names that are floating out there in limbo. Do you
Whatever happened to?
Yeah, remember that person? They were signed up. We knew they were going to become an instructor. Never caught a master instructor and off in limbo. So please make sure you do this as soon as possible. You can pick an instructor of your own choosing. Are the people on the East Coast versus the West Coast? Are they triathletes because you're a triathlete and you identify with triathletes? Whatever it might be that you pick out. Geez, they do endurance running and I do endurance running. They do short distance and I do short distance. Whatever it is, however you want, pick somebody that you're going to be comfortable with. Initiate that conversation so that you're good to go. Have a couple conversations before you schedule with them so that you're both on the same page. Now you get 6 hours with this master instructor. Okay, utilize your time wisely, because once you hit that 7th hour or 8th hour, or sometimes in Cheryl's case, the 20-something hour.
Yeah, you don't want to come see me.
You
I'm brutal.
You want to make sure that you're prepared. Geez, Jim's earpiece popped off when he heard that one. What?
Oh, what?
You want to make sure that you're prepared though. And by that, not only do you know the lessons, but that you are a great example of a Chi walker, a great example of a Chi runner, and you have that down. You have questions about that. That's where Cheryl and myself are still here for you. Even after the, throughout your entire Chi running career, there's a strong chance we'll be around. And we're here to help out is what it boils down to. So please make sure you use us when we talk about the tips and tools. Well, one of your tools in the toolbox is Cheryl, and the other tool in the toolbox is myself. So yeah, we're here to help you guys. So as in your preparation, make sure that you guys are prepared, and then in the event, geez, you don't sit well with those 6 hours and you need more, talk with your master instructor, because that master instructor might come with a tab of anywhere from 75 to, there's one other instructor that's in the metropolitan area. He's $225 an hour.
Yikes.
Nonetheless, if that's his rate and you are requiring more time, be prepared.
Is there an agenda for the 6 hours, or it's up to the master instructor?
Well, the basic agenda is that master instructor preps you for all the lessons. You work with the master instructor so that the master instructor is comfortable with your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, and then after you've got your knowledge, it's also running and walking. That instructor needs to be comfortable that you are a good example of a Chi walker, a good example of a Chi runner. Now, maybe that's going to take 5 hours and you leave an hour to go for your final exam. Okay, and what that is, it's simply you put lessons 1 through 6 in a hat and you pick a number. Hey, I got lesson number 1. And you go, oh, shoot, thank God I've got the introduction. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. My name is Vince, and I'll be your instructor today. By the way, I make sure everybody signed their paperwork as they came through the door. And in addition to the paperwork at the door, we also have our restrooms located here, there, and there. You know, and then today's class is going to be all about injury prevention and energy efficiency. You got your introduction. Great. Any questions? Then let's get right into it. Boom. On the other hand, you might have something like pelvic rotation. You might have something like begin run, where it's
Complicated.
more complicated than a simple, hey, welcome, you know. So you need to make sure that you're comfortable with all of that. You've got lessons 1 through 6 get pulled out of a hat. Lessons, you get done with that. The instructor will be videotaping you so that you'll be teaching them as the student. That instructor and yourself will be looking for, as Cheryl already pointed out in that big paragraph, what's your rapport? You don't want to stand there and say, okay, Chi running is all about injury prevention, energy efficiency, was derived through your alignment and surrounded by relaxation. It was created by a gentleman by the name of Danny Dreyer and his wife, Catherine Dreyer. Danny Dreyer used to do ultra races, and while constantly getting hurt, he took his love of Tai Chi, combined it with the sport of running to come up with that. You don't want to go into all of that stuff like you're reading it. You want to turn around and have a, hey, oh, geez, by the way, if you need a little assistance, there's my assistant just popped in. If you need some assist, geez, we're working on posture. Praveen, would you mind a little bit of touching for alignment? You want to just make sure, here we go. We've got our ankle, our hip, shoulder, and ear. Right now, geez, Praveen, you're looking more like you're just a tad out of alignment. I want to just make sure we get those hips lined up directly over your ankles and directly under your shoulder. Great, there we go. Perfect. So you as the instructor, your student might be quizzing you. They might go down the road looking like the duck feet. And they might be hoping that you turn around and say, geez, student, make sure you get those feet aligned. Okay, what I could suggest, if maybe you meet them on a track, geez, why don't we spend a little bit of time with you walking or running on the line with your right foot to the right side of the line and the left foot to the left side of the line to help keep your feet parallel. You know, we want to see that. Your instructor wants to see that you're not just reciting the lessons, but that you have a rapport and you can help that person. You know, and they might do silly, stupid things just to see that. Okay, and it's a quiz. Oh, geez, let me help you out, master instructor. Your alignment's looking slightly off. You guys can have a little chuckle, move on, and the instructor's going to say, hey, great, thanks for making that adjustment. And then off you go. So you have that rapport set up. Lessons 7 through 14, pulled out of a hat. You get that? Same situation. Do you know that lesson? And can you present that lesson? And during the presentation, do you have this interaction back and forth with your students? Then from there, the instructor's going to want you to Chi walk for them, and then Chi run, and then combined, you and the instructor sit down and do a video review of yourself. Now, after all of this videoing is done, you and the instructor need to be happy with that. Because if you're not happy with it, and the instructor is not happy with it, I will guarantee you when it hits me, I'm going to kick it back.
I won't send it unless I'm happy with it. I won't send it to Vince. Because it's a reflection on me too. So just to be clear, you guys, what we're doing is you're gonna present a lesson to your master instructor from one of the lessons 1 through 7, and then 8 through 14 or 15 or 16 or whatever it is. So you're gonna present one lesson from each of those groups. And if you have to do, a couple takes, if you're nervous and you screw up, we'll film you again. It's not, you have to be perfect the first time if we'll film it. But again, remember that this is only 6 hours, and it has always taken me much longer to do this with people because I really want you to do it well. And especially the whole the video of you, it needs to be good. I mean, being able to teach the lessons is important, but if you can't do pelvic rotation, you're not going to pass. If you don't have proper arm swing, or at least close to it, if there's some major out there, or I don't see you falling forward from your center, it's not gonna roll. So you really don't come to your master instructor like you want to be taught. You want to come to your master instructor and show them that you are an instructor. So, that said, it doesn't have to be, really difficult. You just need to be ready.
Obviously, we need to know the material. And I think someone has mentioned that in the past they've taught classes and they've had notes or with them. Is that something we can do when we're doing one of the lessons that we're doing?
I would check with the master instructor.
Okay, I don't know.
I would check with the instructor on that one.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I've told people that I worked with, if you want to bring some note cards with you about, the value points at the end of each lesson, and those, you have those available to you while you're teaching. Because I mean, the first 2 years that I taught, that's what I did. I had to look at my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. So you can do that, but it needs to be seamless. It needs to be, you can't be doing this, and reading the lesson. You've got to show that rapport with your students, obviously. And I've had people do that. They've literally read the lesson on video, and that didn't happen. So yeah, Cheryl, what did you want to say?
Do you typically do the whole 5-6 hours all at one time? Or is it broken up, or is it dependent on the instructor?
Depends on you and what the instructor agree to. If you're really prepared and you think you can get it done, then, schedule it. I think, for a day. I mean, that's a lot of time. 6 hours is a huge chunk.
Well, that's why I was
change.
asking. That seems like a lot of time, and it might be.
But if you're having to travel to go see your person and you're paying for lodging, I mean, I invited my person to stay with me at my home so she didn't have to pay for lodging. So, that's, you can negotiate that. But, really what I like to do is I like to go through every lesson with the person. And that gives me a sense of really how well do they know this. And if I get through lesson 3 or 4 and I'm having to, coach them a lot, and they're not clear in their presentation, it may be another day working with them, because I mean, people come out and they want to be certified. They want to be, they want you to say, yes, you're it. But if you're not ready, then I'm going to work with you until you are. It's kind of like how it's my attitude towards a private session with my clients. I said, look, it takes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to teach a chi running. If it takes 4, awesome. If it takes 6 or 7, well, that's what it takes. And that's my approach with instructor candidates as well. Yeah, Ginger.
Yeah, so in the lessons, there's what I consider to be the main part of the lesson, and then there's some sections below: student observations, additional tips and tools. I think we're responsible for the body of the lesson and not the additional tips and tools. Would you agree with that? Not the student observations. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, if you go to right now, pick a lesson and just pull up the value points, talking points for instruction. The master instructor will have that, and he or she is gonna go, let's see here, this one's introduction and welcome. Did they give a definition of the chi running overview? Yep. Did they talk about energy efficiency? Yep. Okay, they talked about needle and chitin? Yep. two types of alignment. Yeah. Did they demonstrate anything? Oh, they didn't demonstrate. Okay, well, that's a negative. Did they talk about the force of the oncoming road versus the gravity? Did they demonstrate conventional running? As long as they go through that entire list, that's what you need to know for that lesson. That's what
Yeah.
the instructor is going to be using as a checkpoint, because the instructors will need a point of reference as well to make sure that you hit all the main points. And then did you talk about the 4 basic components: posture, ankle lift, chi walking, arm swing, moving from your Dan Chen. And then I always put in there, if time permits, hills and cadence.
Hills, oh, yeah. Yeah, and like Vince said, if your master instructor has a sense of humor and they're playing with you and doing weird stuff to see if you pick it up, that's your opportunity to pull out those additional tools. Like the rope thing, and teaching people how to use pelvic rotation and fall forward from your center using the rope. I mean, that's an additional tip and tool. But if you're teaching that and you want to add that in, go for it. So
Right.
yeah, good question, Ginger. It's if you got to hit those value points. That's what you got to hit when you teach. And when you
I
pull,
hadn't even paid much attention to those. I mostly was looking at the lessons themselves, so that's a great tip.
Yeah.
I have to go because I have a plane to catch, but I wanted to say thank you again. It's been fantastic, and I've learned so much from the instructors and from the other students as well. And I'm going to miss you, which is kind of weird. I hope we stay in touch, and definitely I hope you make it for instructor weekend. Because I
Yay.
Look forward to seeing everybody.
Thank
Ginger,
you.
let us
Ginger.
know. Let us know how your weekend with Danny goes.
I certainly will. Yeah, he's going to be so busy. He's not going to have time to certify me that weekend. I already know it's very oversubscribed, but I may fly to Asheville and get certified there. So
Awesome.
if I want to be really scrutinized, it seems like I'm asking for it here, but I still think it might be great. So
Yeah, Marie could probably attest to that one.
you guys again.
Ginger,
So-
you and I can talk.
okay, I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Have a
Okay,
safe
Bye.
guys,
It's nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye,
luck.
Ginger. Have a
Bye.
great flight.
You too.
Thank you.
Cool.
Any other questions?
So usually too, if you draw that number out of the hat, you got 2 lessons that you're going to do well and have video of that's going to get sent to Vince if it's good. And so, you'll have some time to prepare. Let's say you pull the knee bending drill out. Well, go over there on the bench and think about it and run through it and spend some time practicing, or asking questions about it or whatever to get your mind set. And then we'll video it. And then if it's not good, we'll do it again. So, the whole idea though, is to give, you want to give me, if I'm your teacher, and Vince, that certainty that you can teach. That's all we're looking for. Can you teach chi running? And are you an example of a chi runner, an instructor? What else can I say? I don't know.
We're your billboards. I mean, that's what it is. And so you got to make sure the billboard is right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really true. And you guys have been through this training and it's so rigorous. You know what it's like. So the high standard that we're asking for here. And once you're certified, you're going to expect that of other people, of other instructors. You want people to put this out there well. And that's our goal. We don't, Danny's not going to be around forever, and neither, all of us are going to be out the door someday. So we got to push it out to the younger folks and make sure they can carry on the legacy and do it well, right? So anyway, that was morbid.
I just have to say that it's one of the reasons why I chose this certification, because I want to be the best one I can be. And I think that, when I looked at what was required, I was like overwhelmed, and I'm still a little overwhelmed, right? But in the end of the day, I want to be the best instructor I can be. And So I appreciate the high standard even when I'm uncomfortable with it.
I'm with you.
And
it's-
you know, just as an aside, when I went to become a physical therapist, I chose a program that was competency based for the very same reason. Because I want
Wow.
to know that everybody came out having at least the same basic minimum standard, and that minimum standard increased as we went through our program. And unfortunately, it's not competency based anymore, but it was a unique program and a ton of work for the instructors, because if you didn't meet the competency, you had to be remediated and retested. So it's not unlike what you guys are doing, and it is a lot of work for the instructors who are
Yeah.
testing us. So I
Oh,
appreciate.
wow. Oh, that's great feedback. Thank you, Cheryl. That's really interesting. Cool. Oh gosh, I was gonna say something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Probably the best thing that will help you pass or go to your one-on-one is practice teaching, which is why we require all those hours, because that's where you figure this out, is practice teaching. And you'll make mistakes. And one of the things that an instructor that I worked with early on after I was certified said to me, he goes, don't worry about it. They don't know what you forgot to tell them.
That's what Michael said on Monday night. They don't know.
Exactly.
They don't know that you said it now and you were supposed to say it then. You know, they don't know any of that. Because I'm
Yeah,
still perseverating on the things I didn't do right on the first one, right?
right.
So I'm like, oh,
I know. So yeah, so just keep practicing, and the more you teach, the easier it is, for sure. Let's see.
And
So
just
yeah,
just
go
another
ahead, Mary.
question. So it's master instructor dependent whether or not they will charge us for the 6 hours. Is that correct?
No,
No.
no, 6 hours is included in the course.
Okay. Okay.
It's above the 6 hours.
Above the okay. Okay.
Yes, 6
So
hours
Vin,
is included in the course.
so
Okay.
Vince always tells me I should charge for all the hours that I do afterwards, and I never have. So you just need to be clear with people about, you know, what the deal is, because if you need more time, I mean, the bottom line is you want to get this done when you meet with this person. And if it takes 10 hours instead of 6, are they going to charge you for that time? Or are they just going to say, nope, I don't have the time. We're doing it in 6 hours. And they end up sending video to Vince that isn't acceptable. You don't want that to happen. So I won't do that. But you gotta have that conversation. So yeah, that's a really good question, Marie. Yeah, Vince pays us for 6 hours.
I mean, it seems only fair that if we go over 6 hours, we should pay them for their time. I mean,
Right.
You'd
it's not like,
think.
not like they're making a lot of money off of this. So
I know, it's true. Well, Vince thinks we can do it in 6 hours. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. I think it takes longer sometimes. That's all I'm saying. But it really depends on the person. Sometimes people really show up, and you know, people get nervous too when they come, and you know, it takes an hour or two just to get people to relax and just, you know, enjoy the session and not be, you know, tensed up or whatever. But anyway.
I don't know if Vince is frozen or if he's just not moving.
I think he was
He was frozen. Okay.
He was. I know. I was like,
I thought you got him to be quiet there with your comment about 6 hours.
I know. I thought so too. Vince, are you still there? We lost you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm back. I
Okay.
had to go to my tablet, didn't have enough
Juice?
charge to it.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
So ideally, we should get this done before Tucson. I mean, that's my goal.
Tempe.
I mean, Tempe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could get it done at the weekend, right? Vince. I mean, but you'll miss the weekend and you'll be all anxious and, you
It'd be more
know,
fun, to have it done beforehand and
Yeah.
enjoy the weekend.
That's
Yeah.
my goal. Yeah.
People want to do the certification at the weekend, then maybe we come the day before. So we start on Thursday, with a reception someplace around 4 or 5 o'clock. So
Yeah.
maybe everybody gets to town. If you guys want to do that, we get to town on Wednesday night, so that Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, we start. And we can do this as a group, because at that particular point, then I could pay attention myself. Actually, probably Cheryl will be there early. We've got Lisa that's in towns that lives right there. That's a master instructor. So we'll be able to get master instructors that are right there, but you guys could be students as well as instructors, and we can rotate right around, go through everything. If you guys are interested in that, you heard how Cheryl does things with me. You guys are going to put in not a ton of miles, but I like to quiz everybody while running. So go out, run. Okay, not a fast run or anything crazy like that, but we're just going to go out, and I'll be like, oh, so tell me about, your posture. How does it relate to what you're doing right now? Can you improve anything that you're doing right now? So I'll simultaneously work on your technique as well as your knowledge of the lessons and how they go or relate to each other.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That's cool. And Henry's there too, Vince, so we could use Henry if we needed to, maybe, if we decide to do it the day before. Yeah, if you guys decide you want to do that. Are you all planning on being there, or yes, no, kind of, sort of? I know Marie is.
I'm planning on it.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, when are you gonna send more information about it, like cost and that sort of thing?
Dates. We have dates, but we don't know where we're going yet.
I will have all that stuff is done. It just got completed, and the letter was written this morning. It is being fluffed. I'm so by our writer Haley. She does a good job at making things more presentable than, as Cheryl would put it, I will have the content in one big paragraph, maybe, as opposed to, oh, it looks so nice and it was easy to read or whatever. So it's being taken care of that way. And once that email is ready, which should be ready tomorrow, and proof it, I'll make sure that I send it out to you guys as well. Because you're all.
It won't have the schedule of events for the Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we're still working on that. It'll just have the price and the basic times, right, Vince?
We have the link to the hotel. Hotel rooms are $149 a night, plus tax and whatever. It will have the meal plan, which includes 3 breakfasts, 2 dinners, the Chi Living costs, which include, I can't remember the person's name, but he created hip modality, hip
neutral. Yeah.
We're having gentlemen do a actual talk during the instructor weekend, so he'll be teaching a class, couple-hour class that we're hired him to come in to give people more of an education. The chance that we'll have our gentleman from Tandem there, if he meets all of our requirements to get there, but that's video analysis, which is going to be great once it gets completed. Then let me see here, what else do we have? All that stuff.
We have another person. We might have an instructor from India who is a physician and practices in wellness. Vinaya, she may do an hour talk as well. And then we also have Catherine and Danny are possibilities. We still have to broach those conversations. And so yeah, we don't have a schedule yet, but we have we know what opportunities we have for presentations. So, but yeah, if you guys can get certified before, that would be awesome. I mean, it's great to do it there because, you know, you'd have Vince and whoever else to help you with it and stuff. But what I noticed at the last instructor weekend, the candidates that came to get certified, they were a little anxious because they were, you know, and they didn't get they enjoyed the weekend, but they were thinking a lot about performing, you know, so it was a little bit of a challenge for them. But it was also a way to get it done too. So
You do these once a year?
once every other year, every 2 years, we do an instructor weekend. Yeah. And then the opposite years, like Marie, we went to Nashville or Memphis, and that was a first. So we're trying to alternate years. You know, 1 year is instructor weekend, the next year we'll do Achievement, and the next year is instructor weekend. So, yeah.
It's basically a reunion
Yeah.
is what it's, a Chi reunion is what it boils down to. We usually average around 50 people from all around.
Yeah.
Any other questions we can help out with? Well, then, it was very nice meeting everybody. Looking forward to continually seeing everybody in the Chi community. The exam is live if anybody wants to take that.
So
Between
Vince,
now-
I just looked, I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't either.
Uh-oh.
I
What do you
gotta
mean?
jump. So, thanks, everybody. Nice meeting you, and hope to see everybody in October. So,
Okay,
Bye,
Jen.
Jim. Good luck
Good
next
luck.
weekend.
okay,
Good
thanks.
luck. I hope your
Thank you
wife
all.
feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good luck
thank
with
you.
your wife.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Bye.
You see, what can't you see?
There's no exam link.
Correct. I don't have it either.
In the events? Under
Yes,
What
there's nothing.
course?
I'm sorry?
It's not in the course?
No, there's no link.
It
To
just
the exam.
says, are you going, maybe not going?
Right, that's all it says.
Yeah, I got the same thing, Vince. Just says
All right.
going or not going.
I'll work on getting back into my computer and I'll have it opened up for tomorrow morning. I thought I
Cool.
was gifted and get it handled.
Oh, well.
And we have a week, right? So we can do it over the holiday weekend.
Sure, if that's the way you want to spend your holiday.
I'm on call, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, how can a family practice physician be on call? How does that work? You
Oh,
want-
because people call us with their, I've got COVID, or I need my refill, or I'm having chest pain. Okay, go to the
go
hospital.
to the hospital.
Yeah, don't call me.
What are you calling me for? Oh my gosh. Yikes. All right. Well, you guys, it has been my pleasure to be your instructor, and I really appreciate your engagement, involvement, your questions, and thanks for putting up with me and my rambling self. And
It's
you
been
guys
great.
are
Thank
awesome.
you so much to both of you. You
Thank
guys
you.
are invaluable, and I certainly appreciate your instruction in the last 5 months, and it's been wonderful.
Yay.
We'll miss you guys.
I know.
One last thing, I think there is a link for path marker, and it's in the comment, or it's in one of the. It's not in the lesson, but there is a message that came through, and in that message there is a link for exam.
I couldn't hear most of that, Praveen.
You said there's a link. There's a link to the exam where?
Not sure if can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I
now
can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, there is a one of the chat bot. I think one of the chat messages that has
Yeah.
the link, not on the lessons. If you see, you might get a
It's in the
me
chat? Really?
chat, but
I might have put it in the chat. I thought I posted
Yeah.
it, but
I saw that in the notifications. I saw that.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Vince, you put it in notifications, somehow gotten notifications, but then where would it have been posted? That's weird. Maybe
I
it's in the
don't see the notification.
feed.
I'll redo it if you guys can't find it. I'll redo it tomorrow when I get to my computer.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's what you did. You put it in the feed, Vince. It's in the feed under the class. So if you click on the feed, you'll see it there. But put it in the event because Jim's not gonna know it now that he's gone. And same Ginger isn't gonna
And
know that
Ginger.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's in the, yeah. Good eye, Praveen. Ha.
All of them are. Aren't they advertised in the feed?
No, they're in the events. They're always in the events.
I don't know. Take a look.
They're always
All right.
in the events, Vince.
Gotcha. All right. It was.
Hey Vince, I have a quick question. Do we get invited to the calls that you do for
The instructor,
instructors before we get certified or after?
That'll be after.
Okay,
yeah.
Michael just said to ask you because he told me about it, so.
That'll be after.
Okay,
Yeah, you'll
that's
get
fine.
access to a lot of stuff after you're certified.
So we do the 10 hours, we do the certification with the master instructor, and then who like deems us, gives us the blessing that we're
Vince,
okay. So you'll send us an email saying, "Go forth, young man,
Congratulations.
have a wonderful time."
Yes.
Pretty much so. Yeah.
Okay.
The book.
Yep, he's the man.
All right.
All right,
Anybody
you
else?
guys.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Thank you.
all.
You're
you.
welcome. Love you all. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna stop the recording here. Yahoo.